oldest known ancestor was lived in Ethiopia 3.2 million years ago. And more familiar to you, perhaps, coffee, our favorite beverage, is also originary in Ethiopia. In the old days, Ethiopia was started featuring on those early maps produced by explorers. So there was this intriguing society living out there somewhere, but we didn't quite know what it was. But there were links. There was ivory coming out. There was incense. There were slaves and gold coming out of Ethiopia and making it into Europe. And we also knew of an early Christian society developing there. In fact, Ethiopia became the first nation to embrace Christianity. More recent, closer to our days, the Emperor Haile Selassie and his predecessors, Mekonnen, became known for unifying Ethiopia. And when Haile Selassie became known to the West as the king of the kings, this was the only nation in Africa that have resisted colonization. And it was under Haile Selassie that the African Union was created. Closer in time, in 1984, Ethiopia made the news yet again due to the famines and the efforts that the West supported to try to alleviate the suffering of millions of people. But the Ethiopia that we have today and where we have to operate is a very different one. That is a buoyant economy growing at 10% every year, 80 million people, and many development projects that pose increasing challenges into conservation and the environment. I like to think of Ethiopia as the roof of Africa. And as shown in this map, that roof of Africa contains very special wildlife, is a hotspot of biodiversity. And the subject of my interest and my studies and the animal I cherish so much became known to science in 1835 when it was described by a German naturalist. But we knew very little after that, only that this enigmatic canid, Canis immensis, was found high up in the mountains of Ethiopia. When you go looking for it, initially you find this enigmatic and mysterious land more often than not covered by thick fog. And somewhere there, when the fog raises, the wolves could be spotted if you're lucky. And this is a typical landscape where the wolves live.